And that's part of the reason why you were the light heavyweight champion for so long. You've gone back and forth a little bit with the current light heavyweight champion, Jon Jones. What's it going to take to squash the beef between you and Jon Jones?
No, there was never no beef at all. Let me tell you guys, there was never no back and forth or anything. There was no beef. I stood up for this kid when everybody turned their back on him, saying he's afraid to fight and da-da-da. I go, listen, it's a business decision, no more than that. That's all it was, a business decision. There wasn't an opportunity of afraid of any man that he doesn't want to fight. No.
Right.
He looked out for his business, of his future. And I stood up for him. I said that was a great decision on his part. I would have done the same decision if I was in his shoes at this time. I mean, don't get me wrong. When I was fighting, I fought Matashenko on a 2-week notice, when I was supposed to fight Vitor Belfort. I was supposed to fight Guy Metzger, and I fought Patrick Cote on a week notice. I fought Forrest Griffin when I was supposed to fight Mark Coleman on a 3-week notice. And there was many things I've done through my career by doing that, and I really look back on it as when Johnny Bones Jones said that he's not a Tito Ortiz because he doesn't complain about money. I take that with a little disrespect, but I take it more as just I'm disappointed in him, man. I was really, really disappointed in the kid.
Yeah.
I really put him on a higher pedestal, and it just shows his true colors, I guess you can say. For someone at that level, I mean, maybe it's the young age and he's the champion and the world, revolves around him, it's fine. But to guys at my level that have been fighting for years to raise the pay for us fighters, fighting for years to make the sport what it is today, don't really disrespect him by talking the way he did. I took it as a disrespect, and it just disappointed, as I say. It's not like I don't like the kid anymore. I like him a lot. I think he's a good guy. He just maybe he's not focused, and it's a bad time to do it because now that he's not focused, maybe Belfort has a chance of beating him. I would like to see that just because I own the longest reigning light heavyweight champion defenses of all time in the UFC, and I would like to continue by doing that. But I would like to see someone to be successful as Jon Jones has. I look at it, and he drives around a nice Bentley, or he had before he wrapped around the tree. If it wasn't for me, he'd be driving a Toyota truck.
Yeah.
I really look at that, and a lot of these fighters got to understand, you may talk what you want about Tito, but I've stood my ground, and I take a lot of flack from the company because of it, but at the same time, I'm respected because I look in the mirror and I have integrity for myself, and I think a lot of fans have integrity for me because I stood up for what I believe in.
And part of standing up for what you believe in is continuing to grow the sport at an amateur level as well, which I think is just fantastic. Starting October the 6th and again on December 7th, you're putting together a couple of shows, Fight Club MMA Rising Stars in Orange County, California. What's the amateur MMA scene like in California right now?
Well, it's still growing, of course. I know worldwide the United States is growing hugely. I know a lot of guys that do amateur shows. But like I say, I want to make the Golden Gloves of MMA. This is where it starts. I'm trying to look for guys that are going to think outside the box, who are going to love to fight, who are going to put their time in, but think of it as a professional job. It's not somebody coming in, they're going to fight, and then they're going to go drinking after and go get in a fight. No, they're going to come in and they're going to do the things that are great. They're going to do things that make the difference. And starting with the amateur level, that's what I wanted to do. I don't want to compete with UFC at all, not for a half a second. I do not. UFC is the Super Bowl mixed martial arts, the greatest promotion alive, and there's no one who can compare to them at all. But I want to work on the amateur level so I can build these guys so it's easier for Dana to work with, easier for the main promotions to work with, and mold them into being superstars, where they don't have problems doing interviews. Even when they become world champions, they're still doing interviews. They're still going out of their way to work with the press to make the press job a lot easier. Because if you spoke to any press that I've ever worked with, I always make it easy. I'm always on time. I always talk over, and I always make sure that I do the right job I possibly can.
Yeah, and I can attest to that, Tito. You were supposed to call us exactly 11:20, boom, phone rings, Tito Ortiz. And, I can't tell you how much I appreciate that. That's not a consistent thing across the board, but you see, the true professionals like yourself and like a few others in MMA are able to show up and do these kinds of things.
And that's what makes the difference. And that's what I want to show for the young amateur guys that are coming up to do that. And even the guys who are pros now. They sign with me. I'm going to show them the right way and the right things to make their job a lot easier so they hold their name higher than others. That's what I've done in my whole career, where guys that do interviews and they're like, oh, great, we get to work with Tito. That's killer. He's going to be on time. He's going to give us what we want to hear. And it's only be one take. It's not going to be 8 or 9 takes. And all of a sudden it's half the day's gone. They only got 8 questions down. I'm going to make sure I'm very articulate, very colorful to make it happen. So I want to do the same thing with a lot of these young fighters as they come up to educate them the right way.
Tito, I want to know what your thoughts are on the current TRT epidemic in MMA and how it hurts the sport.
Junk. A bunch of cheaters. Guys who are looking for an easy way out. What kind of example are we trying to set for the kids of our future who are trying to be world champions? Even the fans that watch the sport, these guys are cheaters. They're looking for easy way outs. You know, you look in basketball. A lot of these guys are not even Hall of Fame anymore because of it. You know, they're not recognized as being Hall of Famer because of it. And all of a sudden, it's okay for mixed martial artists to do it. Why? That's the question. Why? My whole career, I've never had a chance to do it, and I've had an opportunity after my surgeries to do it, and I said, no, that's cheaters. Cheaters do that stuff. They look for something easier way out because they don't want to work as hard or they want to recover faster. No, that's cheaters, man. I just am baffled by it, that the support that athletic commissions do and saying it's okay. They could be on a certain level. It's like, how can you even say that? I just look at Olympics. They don't allow that stuff at all. Zero. You look at boxing, you look at other sports, they don't allow that at all. That stuff is looked down upon so much. And all of a sudden it's okay for MMA fighters to do it. I think I've shown sending the wrong message to our youth and to our fans that these guys are just animals who are just high on steroids. That's why they react and act the way they do. And I think I've worked too damn hard in the sport of mixed martial arts to have that emblem and have that name put on us.
Is it still cheating when you're like 41 years old, Dan Henderson style?
Listen, if you got to take that stuff, you're cheating. If you need to take it, you need to stop and retire and call it a day and let these young guys come up and fight. Because all of a sudden what's going to happen is the young guys lose to the older guys. You're like, well, I'm going to beat our team now because I'm going to need it. Look at Forrest. He just turned 33 when I fought him, and he was using it. 33 years old. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
When do you stop producing testosterone in your own body at 33? And I just look at it as these guys are cheaters, man. The only way they could be successful is taking an easy way out by cheating like this.